As Jacob went on his way to meet his brother, some angels met him. When he saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So he named the place Mahanaim. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to meet his brother Esau. When the messengers came back, they said, "We went to meet your brother Esau, and he is already on his way to meet you. He has 400 men with him." Jacob was frightened and worried. He divided into two groups, the people that were with him. He thought, if Esau comes and attacks the first group, the others may be able to escape. Then Jacob prayed, "God of my grandfather Abraham and God of my father Isaac, hear me. You told me, Lord, to go back to my land and to my relatives, and everything would go well for me. I am not worth the kindness and faithfulness that you have shown me, your servant. I crossed the Jordan with nothing but a walking stick, and now I have come back with these two groups. Save me, I pray, from my brother Esau. I am afraid that he is coming to attack us and destroy us all, even the women and the children. Remember that you promised to make everything to go well for me and give me more descendants than anyone could count, as many as the grains of sand along the seashore." After spending the night there, Jacob chose a few hundred goats from his livestock as a present for his brother Esau. He sent his gifts ahead of him and spent the night in camp. The same night, Jacob got up, took his 2 wives, 2 concubines, and his 11 children, and crossed the river Jabbok. After he sent them across, he also sent all that he owned, but he stayed behind, alone. Then a man came and wrestled with him until just before daybreak. When the man saw that he was not winning the struggle, he struck Jacob on the hip, and it was thrown out of joint. The man said, "Let me go, daylight is coming." "I won't, unless you bless me," Jacob answered. "What is your name?" the man asked. "Jacob," he answered. The man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob. You have struggled with God and with men, and you have won. So your name will be Israel." Jacob said, "I have seen God face to face, and I am still alive." So he named the place Peniel. When Jacob saw Esau coming with his 400 men, he divided his children among Leah, Rachel, and his 2 concubines. Jacob went ahead of them and bowed down to the ground 7 times as he approached his brother. But Esau ran to meet him, threw his hands around him, and kissed him. They were both crying. When Esau looked and saw the women and children, he asked, "Who are these people to you?" "These, sir, are the children whom God has been good enough to give me," Jacob answered. Then the concubines came up with their children and bowed down. Then Leah and her children came. Last of all, Joseph and Rachel came and bowed down. On his return to Mesopotamia, Jacob arrived safely at the city of Shechem in the land of Canaan and set up his camp in a field near the city. He brought that part of the field from the descendants of Hamor for 100 pieces of silver. He put up an altar there and named it after El, the God of Israel. One day, Dinah, the daughter of Jacob and Leah, went to visit some of the Canaanite women. When Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, who was the chief of that region, saw her, he disgraced her. But he found the girl so attractive that he fell in love with her and tried to win her affection. Jacob learned that his daughter had been disgraced. But because his sons were out in the fields with his livestock, he did nothing until they came back. Shechem's father Hamor went out to talk with Jacob just as Jacob's sons were coming in from the fields. When they heard about it, they were shocked and furious that Shechem had done such a thing and had insulted the people of Israel. Hamor said to him, "My son has fallen in love with your daughter. Please let him marry her. Let us make an agreement that there will be intermarriage between our people and yours." Because Shechem had disgraced their sister Dinah, Jacob's sons answered Shechem and his father Hamor in a deceitful way. They said to him, "We cannot allow our sister to marry a man who is not circumcised. That would be a disgrace for us." The terms seemed fair to Hamor and his son Shechem, and the young man lost no time in doing what was suggested because he was in love with Jacob's daughter. He was the most important member of his family. Hamor and his son Shechem went to the meeting place at the city gate and spoke to their fellow townsmen. "These men are friendly. Let them live in the land with us and travel freely. The land is large enough for them also. Let us marry their daughters and give them ours in marriage. But these men will agree to live among us and be one people with us only on one condition, that we circumcise all our males as they are circumcised." All the citizens of the city agreed with what Hamor and Shechem proposed, and all the males were circumcised. 3 days later, when the men were weak from their circumcision, 2 of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, the brothers of Dinah, took their swords and went into the city without arousing suspicion, and killed all the men, including Hamor and his son Shechem. Then they took Dinah from Shechem's house and left. They took the flocks, the cattle, and everything else in the city and in the fields. Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought trouble on me. Now the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and everybody else in the land will hate me. I haven't many men. If they all band together against me and attack me, our whole family will be destroyed." God said to Jacob, "Go to Bethel at once and live there. Build an altar there to me, the God who appeared to you when you were running away from your brother Esau." Jacob said to his family, "Get rid of all the foreign gods that you have. Purify yourselves and put on clean clothes. We are going to leave here and go to Bethel, where I will build an altar to the Lord who helped me in the time of my trouble and who has been with me everywhere I have gone. When Jacob and his sons started to leave, great fear fell on the people of the nearby towns, and they did not pursue them. When Jacob returned from Mesopotamia, God appeared to him again and blessed him. God said to him, "Your name is Jacob, but from now on it will be Israel." So God named him Israel, and God said to him, "I am the Almighty God. Go, have many children. Nations will descend from you, and you will be the ancestors of kings. I will give you the land which I gave to Abraham and Isaac, and I will also give it to your descendants after you." Jacob and his family left Bethel. When they were still some distance from Ephrath, the time came for Rachel to have her baby, and she was having difficult labor. When her labor pains were at their worst, the midwife said to her, "Don't be afraid, Rachel. It's another boy." But she was dying, and as she breathed her last, she named her son Benjamin. When Rachel died, she was buried beside the road to Ephrath, now known as Bethlehem. Jacob set up a memorial stone up there, and it marks Rachel's grave to this day.